It looks like we're at 12 noon here, here in Missouri anyway, so we'll get started here. Just to kind of get things beginning here, my name is Luke. I work for Seiler Instrument, where I'm an application engineer. I do most of my work with Bluebeam, but also on the support side, I do help out with our clients that we have with we are Autodesk resellers for as well. Here at Seiler, I am a Bluebeam certified professional and certified instructor. So I do teach classes to all kinds of things, from firms and companies to fire departments, municipalities, cities, so on and so forth. So I've spent a pretty good amount of time teaching Revu. What we are going to be going over mostly today is I'm gonna not try to get like overly structured, try to make this kind of a little laid back if possible. But just to kind of give everybody some insights into the tools that Bluebeam Revu 21 has and how we can make better use of those tools. So, and before I get rolling a little bit too far into that, I did want to make mention of Bluebeam Max here, which I have pulled up in a web tab. If you're not familiar with where the web tab control is, just go to Window and go to Web tab, or your Control T for the keyboard shortcut. And while the web tab does not yet have a search functionality built into it, I know that that's something they're working on. So, but you can, copy and paste a URL there, and it will go to it. But anyway, Bluebeam Max is something that they unveiled not too long ago at Bluebeam Unbound. If anyone was able to attend that, and a lot of what Bluebeam Max is going to be taking care of is kind of leveraging some strengths of AI in the form of being able to kind of automate some of the more mundane tasks within Bluebeam Revu. So if anyone wants some more information about that, let me drop that into the chat here, and I'll just send that information out to everybody there. So, but yeah, it's seems like a pretty exciting endeavor on their part, and seems like it could save a lot of time and a lot of headache to be able to automate a lot of the more simple and mundane tasks within Revu. So yeah, once again, my name is Luke, for anyone who's just joining in with us, and I will be guiding us around Revu 21 to try to get a little bit of a better understanding and a better handle on the tools that are available to us within Revu. And we'll move from kind of a basic outlook of the tools themselves and get into the down and dirty aspects of like the tool sets themselves. So the place I'd like to start here for us today will be our tools menu up here at the top. First thing that we'll notice there is our markups menu, and this list is not exhaustive for sure for all of the tools. These are a lot of the more common ones that we're going to make use of while making use of Revu 21. But a lot of the more common and maybe easier used ones are located here. And one thing that you'll notice here is that for each of these tools that is listed within our markup menu is the keyboard shortcut. That's what each of these little letters designates. So if I want line, I can select it right here if I want to, or I can just hit L on my keyboard, and then I have the ability to draw a line right there. If you want more information about the keyboard shortcuts, and maybe you don't have a whole lot of understanding of those, the best way to get more information on those is to go to your help menu and then come down to your keyboard shortcuts guide, and that will bring up the default list of all of these keyboard shortcuts. And there are many of the tools and commands that exist within Revu that this list will cover everything that's basically out of the box as far as how the defaults are set for Revu. If you I know that some folks like to kind of print this out or keep them handy. I think that probably as you make use of Revu over time, you'll start to kind of have those keyboard shortcuts sink in. And a lot of them, like line, it's an L, so it kind of helps cement that into your memory a little bit easier. Arrow is an A. And another way to find out if there's a keyboard shortcut associated with something also, you can just hover over a markup if you have one of your toolbars active, and we can see that cloud and then the C shows up next to it, just to sort of reiterate that idea, kind of help get that connection solidified in your memory of the keyboard shortcuts. Back up to our tools menu again. So yeah, we have a lot of different tools at our disposal right here. Like I said, that's not kind of the end all be all of them, but a lot of the common ones are located here. Next is going to be our stamps menu. There's a lot of stamps that are just sort of built right into Revu, and a lot of these have kind of smarter functionality to them. Like this revised stamp right here. Kind of a nice thing about that is we can place that onto the page, and it will automatically have the date and time for us there. Let's see. And a nice thing about these stamps is that basically these are all just PDFs essentially, and so it's really easy to create a stamp. I'm not going to necessarily get into the details of that, but it is quite simple to be able to create a stamp and even give it some of that smarter technology like the revised stamp that we placed. And you'll see that keyboard shortcut up here for S again. So if I wanted to redo that again, then all I have to do is hit S, and it's going to, you can see by my crosshair here and the stamp icon that it is reactivated that tool for me. Let's see. So another excellent feature within our tools drop-down menu are our toolbars, which I kind of alluded to before. These will be really rather dependent upon what type of work you're doing on a regular basis, and basically what tools serve you best at any given point. So if it's like say if you're using these measurement tools regularly, then it will serve you well just to have that toolbar turned on. Just kind of show you how quickly and easily these can appear and disappear. Like here's my shapes one, which we'll see here at the end. You can just toggle it on or off, simple as that. And these toolbars, where they land isn't exactly where they have to stay. So we can see these grab handles here located. There's kind of like separations between all of the toolbars themselves. You can grab that toolbar, align it in different areas on the page if you want to. Basically wherever it just makes sense for you to be able to see it. Any changes with these toolbars that you make automatically get saved to whatever profile you happen to be using. So I'm on mine right now, my Luke's review. So you know, any changes you make to what toolbars you have active and the placement of those toolbars, it just automatically saves that to whatever profile that you happen to be using at that time. So you know, it helps to be able to set up review in a way that makes more sense for you, and where the functionality of it allows you to just flow simply and easily and in a way that makes more sense for how you work and how you think. But yeah, just know that beyond being able to just toggle those on and off, they can be easily moved just by grabbing those handles, and you know, you can reposition them along the second row here. You can arrange them on the sides, kind of like where our panels are. You may notice my my panels maybe exist in a different location than what yours do, but those work the same as well. Like, you know, say if it makes more sense for me to have my studio panel off to the far side, then, you know, much of review is like that. And the reason that they design it in that fashion is so that you can really make review yours and have it function in a way that makes more sense for you. So there's less clutter on screen if you don't want it there, or, you know, anything that would be a hindrance to you being able to work as smoothly and you know, without having to give it so much thought. So the lot of handy functionality with the toolbars, and if we go take a look at that menu again, you can see that there's a pretty extensive list to these toolbars, and then also if you wanted to lock them down once you have them placed, just so you don't accidentally move them, that can also be done. One more piece of advice that I want to point out on the tools drop down menu here is the reuse function. Now let's say if I were to I'm just going to grab a cloud and place it here on the page real quick. So once I'm done, I guess I accidentally hit escape there. Let me do that one more time. Erase that. So once I have finished drawing my cloud, we can see that cloud icon and cursor are still active because that tool will remain active just in case I need to place another cloud immediately thereafter. If I don't want that, then I can just come over here to reuse. You can see that it is kind of highlighted blue. If I deselect that, we see that it's kind of grayed out now. So that way, if let's just place another cloud down, then my cursor goes back to its standard shape there. So it doesn't reactivate that tool right after placing that. So if, you know, that may be helpful to have on or off, you know, whatever ends up working for you, that's how it's supposed to be. That's one thing I always try to reiterate a lot to folks when I'm, you know, talking anything about review, is that's kind of the most important takeaway I think I've ever gotten from review is, you know, beyond its functionality and beyond the tools that are there, it really is set up in a way to help you get the most out of it by making it fit you and how you work. So yeah, that reuse, depending upon what I'm doing, sometimes I just keep that turned off just so I don't have to keep reminding myself to hit the escape key to clear out the current tool that I'm working with. So I guess now that we've kind of taken a look at the tools and certain ways, at least a few of the ways so far of how to access them, I'd like to get into a lot of some of the ways that we can alter our tools either before or after they have been placed on a page. So let's take a look at this cloud that I put down here. I can select it, and immediately if you take a look at this area right here, once I select that tool, that's where my properties bar will display. And that will change depending upon, any tool that I have placed or any stamp or markup. That properties bar will change to reflect what I have selected. So I'll select this cloud again, and by using this properties bar, we can, just because it's been placed on the page doesn't mean it has to stay that way. It doesn't have to keep that same appearance. So, maybe I want that line color to be blue. Immediately that change is reflected in the markup. Maybe I want a line that's something a little bit different. Maybe this -2 works better for that situation. And we can change the thickness of it if I needed to stand out a little bit more. So we have a lot of options. Sometimes it might be helpful to give it a fill. Let me drop that opacity down some. That way, I can still fill it and give it a color inside there, but I don't have to. I can drop that opacity down, and I don't have to have it obscure the line work that is contained underneath. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways we can alter these markups once they are placed onto the page. Another option that we have to make changes to our markups either after they have been placed on the page or even beforehand is through our properties panel. So I'll just go ahead and open that up so we can kind of get a look at what the properties panel will do for us. So I'm just going to select the Cloud Plus here, which we can see our keyboard shortcut is just a K if we need that. So here you can see, we'll have a lot of information along the top in our properties bar as it populates, but we also have the entirety of this properties panel. So, there again, if I want to change the color, the line style, let's give it this zigzag appearance. Let's change our color to this green, how about? And we can change even the line color. Let's go ahead and do a fill color of the same, but change our fill opacity down to 25%. So now we have a few different changes that we've made that we can alter before the thing ever hits the page. And so, oh, whoops, I guess I didn't, I moved my fill color. So we'll get that placed first. Blah, blah, blah. We can say whatever we need to in that. So let's change our fill color there to none. And okay, so the fill color that I was altering there was the where the text box exists. And we can also change that font color to maybe something, we'll just go solid black, so maybe it stands out a little bit more. And then we'll go back to that fill color on the inside and drop that down 25%. And so, so we have a whole lot of different ways to alter the markup before or after it gets placed onto the page. None of it ever really has to stay the way that it is just because it happened to be laid down that way. And then also if we ever want to change the text, we can select it here, and sometimes you have to do a fair amount of double clicking. But if you have your properties panel already open, then you can select that text and change it to whatever you need it to be. So, and then as soon as you escape out of that tool, that the text is reflected there. It just automatically updates that for you. And Another nice part about that is, like say, if we look down here in our markups list, where I just placed that cloud plus and it shows up in our markups list, that data that we placed here also shows up in the comments here as well. And we do have several other options if we wanted to change the font style at all, change the alignment and the orientation of that. There's a lot of options that we can access through our properties bar, but the properties panel is always going to really give you everything that you want to make use of. So, if you really want to get down and dirty with the way that you can program these tools to reflect whatever it is, the information that you're trying to disseminate to other coworkers, yeah, the properties panel is going to be definitely your best bet as far as giving you all of the available options. So, and we even have a few other options down here as well. Add to tool chest, which we're going to be heading to the tool chest next. And then if you click on that, you can select what tool chest or tool set you want that to drop into. It doesn't just drop it in haphazardly. You can select what tool set you want that to actually go into. Or if you know that your Cloud Pluses always need to look this way, you can even just set it as the default. And so every time you select that Cloud Plus, either through the toolbar or coming up to your tools menu and selecting it, down here, or if you use the keyboard shortcut as K, it will always have this appearance until you change that again, until you change your default. So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of really display what the potential for the properties panel is. I think that's kind of why I tend to keep it over here, just because that properties panel can tend to be a little bit more effective for me. If I keep it on this side, I like to keep my measurements panel there too. And maybe before I get into the tool chest panel itself, I do want to make mention of since I brought up the measurements panel, and whether you access your measurement tools via this panel, or if you have the toolbar active, or if you do access some of them. They're not all here in this measure spot, but there are a lot of them here. But you can also access them through the measurements panel also. One thing I'll make a quick note of beforehand is that if your scale is not set down in this area here, that the measurement tools are not going to function for you correctly. If you did try to make use of a measurement like this length tool, and your scale happened to not be set, then it would warn you ahead of time. It would let you know that you wouldn't be able to properly make use of that measurement without the scale being set. Luckily, on this page, I do have the scale set. Hypothetically, if I didn't have it set, one thing I can do is just click on that same area, and it's not just an indicator of the scale, it's also a button where we can access the scale itself for the page. And so if we needed to change the scale or apply the scale, I can apply it to the current page. If I wanted to apply it to a custom range like 1, 3, and 5 or whatever, I can do it that way, or I can select all pages and apply the scale. If I know that scale is the same, I can apply that all at once. A lot of times, they're depending upon what information is given to you on the drawing itself. Maybe it has the scale provided, maybe it does not. So if we happen to be in a situation where we needed to use our measurement tools, but our scale is not provided, we can do something that is called a calibration, and how we can make that go into effect is we come over here and select this custom radial button, and then we will go to calibrate. And once I click that, it's going to bring up this dialog box that lets me know just select two known dimension points, and it's going to provide me with this crosshair cursor. So in a situation like this, since I have a measurement provided on the page, that's a perfect way to apply that calibration. So I'm just going to select this little bit of line work here, and I'm going to want to draw a straight line as straight as possible. So, and that can be kind of hard to do if depending on how much coffee you've had or something. But if you hold the shift key, it doesn't matter where your cursor lies, it's going to allow you to draw a straight line. So just remember, hold that shift key in. We'll come over and select the next bit of line work, and I can see from that measurement right here that that's 30 feet. So I'll just type in 30, and then I can apply the scale. It does change the number down here, but essentially the scale is still the same. So if I wanted to verify that scale is correct, I can activate my length measurement tool, and there again, I'm just going to select that line work, and once again, hold down the shift key to make sure that I'm drawing a straight line, and come over, select the next bit of line work, and voila, we can see that my measurement is correct. So from that point on, you'll know that your calibration is correct and all your measurements will be correct. Maybe you're looking at a drawing that maybe doesn't have any measurements provided on the page. That can certainly happen. You can use a known width of any kind, like let's say that these are common door frames. That's 36 inches. I could calibrate from one corner here to the other corner at 36 inches and apply that scale there. Since I know that those are standard door frames, you can calibrate your entire drawing just off of that even too. So there's a lot of ways to be able to get that calibration going. But like I said, the most important aspects for having your scale set for your page is to make sure that all of your measurement markups and tools will work from that point on. So, all right, and I guess we'll move on to the famed tool chest panel after this. If you're not familiar with that one, like the panels work the same as the toolbars, where you can hover over something and it will tell you what it is. These panels work the same. It gives us that little layers label, and there's our tool chest, bookmarks, recent files. So we'll go ahead and click onto the tool chest to get it open. And I do have a lot of different types of tool sets in here. I'll show you how we can add more to this in a second, but I kind of want to just give a basic overview of the layout of the tool chest. So within the tool chest, the tool chest itself encompasses everything within, but we have separate tool sets within our tool chest, and each of these we have total control over. So if I ever wanted to add another tool chest, then I can come over up here to manage tool sets, and just click on my plus button over here to add a tool set. I can create new, add existing, and then we also have our import and export options there. So if we're bringing in a tool set from somewhere else, maybe a coworker has provided us one that we thought we found useful, we can just import that there. But I guess since we already have this open, I'll go ahead and cover some more of this import and export process. So let's say I have a tool set put together coworker notices it and says, hey, the way that you have those set up, the way that you have those tools in there, I feel like that would be pretty useful. I can pass this tool set along to my coworker just by clicking the export. So I just need to highlight it up here and then come down to export. And by clicking on that, it's just going to provide me with a place where I can navigate to where I want to save this tool set. It's a real simple, small BTX file. I can drop it to that coworker in Teams, or I can email it. But it's just that BTX file, and where I can even save it in a shared drive, on the company network, someplace where everybody can gain access to that. And then all they have to do is navigate to where it's at on their end and click import, and then go find that same BTX file and then import it into their tool chest. And then from that point, it will sit in with the rest of the tool sets that we have available here. So this recents, I do want to draw special attention to the recents tool set as it exists here. One thing to keep in mind about the recents is every time you close out Review 21, everything that is inside of this recents tool set will clear out. This clears out every time you close out and reopen Review. This will end up being cleared out. So if there's anything you want to save, the best way to do that would be to just click and drag that tool into one of your other sets, wherever it is that you want to hold it. So let's say that cloud that we used earlier right down here, I know I'm going to need to use that again. So I'm just going to drag that right up here into my tools. And from that point on, that tool is available for me, and in the exact same format as that too. So, any of those properties that I set, whether it be through the properties bar up above or my properties panel over here on the side, those properties will follow that tool from that point on. So, and that also kind of brings me up to the another aspect of these tools in particular is that every tool, not every tool, most markup tools at least, have the ability to be used in two different versions. So there's a properties mode and a drawing mode. So where with this icon showing what it is, it does give me an idea of like what that cloud looks like, and I do see from the icon that it is a cloud. Once I select it, it's going to have me draw that cloud again. I'm drawing it from scratch. But if I double click on that icon, we can see that the icon for that tool has changed. And once I select that, I have an exact copy of that same tool that I placed earlier. So I can drop that down there. So, and if that's the case too, that still stays with that previous one. So I can double click that and immediately have that in that same format again if I want that. Or if I just want to go back to drawing mode, then I can just double click on it again. So, pretty easy to remember that drawing mode. It wants you to redraw the tool itself, the markup. And if you're in properties mode, it will inherit every one of the properties from before. It will have the exact same appearance and same shape and everything. The exact way that you drew it out, it will have that. We can do that with this Cloud Plus as well. If I select on it as is, it is currently in drawing mode, so it wants me to oops, don't know what I did there. it wants me to redraw that, but and it is going to have those same properties, but it's having me redraw that. But if I double click on it, it's going to be an exact copy of the one that we initially laid down. So, just to kind of reiterate its importance, there's a whole lot to go into with the markups list. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to do a whole other webinar based on this one at some point, just because there's a lot you can do with the markups list. But every markup that we place onto the PDF page is going to show up here for us. And not only is the list great just for, for having the list of all of the markups that are present, it's also a really awesome way of just like navigating around the page. So if you're looking for a specific thing, you can select it and then it shows up front and center of your screen immediately. And you don't really have to, go dragging the page around, zooming in and out, looking for things. You can just select it and it's going to just drop that front and center for you, and makes navigation easier, and it also makes locating that tool a heck of a lot easier too. So let's see. So these tool chests, as I said, they can be imported and exported. Let's say if we want to, just because this is something I've worked with some other companies in the past, let's go ahead and add a new one. They'll do create new. This part is super cool. If I say sync this tool and I click that, the good thing about this is whether I'm using Revu on a desktop or if I'm using Revu on a tablet, or like say if I'm using Bluebeam Cloud, either on my tablet or on a web browser, those tools, that tool set will be made available to me wherever I go, wherever I log in. Whether I'm logging in, if I have access to Revu at home, I can log into it there. You can be logged into 5 different instances of Revu at the same time. So, I could be logged in at work and at home and still have access to this new tool set. Just because I created a new tool set doesn't mean I leave it behind anywhere. So, but to get to the point of it, let's say company standards, let's call it company standards X. Let's say that we're going to create a new tool set of company standards that we're going to create and then share out to the rest of the company, or the rest of the folks on my team. Maybe we do a specific thing where make it, if we're all safety inspectors, something like that, we need to create specific tools for this purpose, then this is where we begin. So, and then you can see, I don't have my others synced apparently, but that one is. So were I to log into Bluebeam Cloud, I have that there. So, and maybe I want to bring that one up a little bit closer to the top so we can see it there. Okay, yeah, we see it right there. And then we'll click OK. So now all we really need to do is start populating this this tool set with tools that we plan on using and then sharing with other coworkers so that we all stay on the same page. Let's say, I know that now that granted this is not a roof level floor plan, but I know that for like safety inspections, there's a lot of company, safety inspectors require let's say the equipment on a roof to be, no more than 10 feet apart. So now that we have this 10-foot measurement, we can grab that tool and save that down here into our company standards. And so from that point on, I'll just go ahead and switch it over into, okay, there we go. So now I have it in properties mode. So it takes on the exact same design and layout as an initial tool that was laid down. I'll always have access to that from that point on, and that will stay there until I select it and delete it. And that's really all you need to do for any of these tools. Like this cloud that we put into my tools earlier, maybe I decided I don't need that anymore. I just select it and hit delete, and then that will get rid of that guy. And it will leave this pop-up for you, just to make sure you are wanting to delete what you're deleting. We'll go ahead and say yeah, and then it clears that out. So let's take a look at this tool again. Maybe we want to, for our purposes, we want to change the appearance on these. So I'm going to make them this purple color, and then I want to make the font color that as well. If I select the right one. Since I've made some changes to that, I'll have to re-drop that into here again, but I can just select that one. I don't need it, and delete that. But maybe we're going to bring a cloud in and make use of it somewhere, but I also want it to have the same appearance as the diameter measurement that we just put out there. So now that I have that, let's see, let's select that color again, and we have that placed on the page. I can bring that cloud down in here. So, if you really wanted to have all of your tools color matched, that's kind of how we can do it. We can, select this arrow, but before we place it, we're going to select that same color again, and I'm going to draw the arrow down there. Now that we have that arrow, I can just select it and drag and drop down here. And if I need that exact same arrow again, all I got to do is double click on it, and now I'm in properties mode, have the exact same copy there. So let's see. Oh yeah, one other handy tool that that we can sort of customize in a cool way. Also, it would be our count. We have a few different. Oh, I just deselected it. Sorry. We have a few different. Let me just escape out of that. A few different ways that we can make a count happen. But let's see. But if we want to make that color the same, let's just go ahead and select that same purple. Maybe we're going to do this triangle. And then let's say we want to, let me drop that opacity down to 50%. That way we can still make use of the line work underneath. Let's say we're going to count all of the toilet and sink fixtures in this drawing right here that are visible to us. We can select that. I can hit escape. Let's say that I missed a couple over here that I want to include, and I, as opposed to just selecting that again, it's not going to actually let me continue that count. So if I right click on that tool that we just laid down, I can come down here to resume count, and add all the rest of them that I need to. But that it's just kind of a neat way to make use of that count. And also there again, our count measurement will show up down here, and so we have access to that, and it's going to keep the running tally for us, let us know how many we've actually counted on the page thus far. But yeah, back to the original point would be that we can assemble this tool set with whatever we need and have it be the exact same color scheme that we need it to be to reflect the information that we're trying to relay. And once we have that how we want it, we can export this item out individually, the tool set, and we can see it already has the name, company standards, and it's just that same little BTX file, and then I can save it wherever I need to. Let's say if I'm saving it to a shared drive on the network, and then everyone else in my department will be expected to make use of those tools. But it helps simplify the dissemination of the information so that everyone's on the same page, everyone's using the same type of markups, or Randy uses this color purple, and Wilma uses a red, so you can keep the information logical, but also keep things separated if you need to. One more thing that's pretty cool that I kind of wanted to go over as far as tools, and this one doesn't really get talked about terribly often, and it is called the Snapshot Tool. And there's a couple different ways we can find that. It's not located in our tools drop down here in that markup menu, but if we come over here to edit, and we find it right down here, it's called Snapshot, or we can use the keyboard shortcut of G if it wants, once you start getting those kind of solidified in your head. This allows you to basically just copy and paste anything that is already on the page, and essentially kind of turn it into a tool. So I'm just gonna select window over this guy real quick, and I'm just clicking and holding and dragging that window over. You can see, let's say, the line work that makes up this toilet fixture here. We can see that I in the past have taken a snapshot of that, and I can just select that basically and place that wherever I need to. But it's just an exact copy. It just copies the line work, and let's say that there was supposed to be another toilet placed in this water closet here. Boom, I've got it down there. I don't have to send it back to the CAD designer or anything like that. And if I've got one in the wrong place, I can just delete it. And then that does show up as a markup in here. So, if I select that markup from my markups list down here, it will drop that front and center for me. So that's basically what I was doing with the snapshot tool. I'm not sure why it was acting wonky like that, but that tool then does now show up in my recents. So if I want to keep that, and maybe I want that in my company standards, maybe I know I'm going to end up using that again later on, I can have that. And then if I need to go back and count that, because now I have that image on the page, I can just come back down here by right clicking and then click on resume count, and boom. And my count down here in my markups list, let me expand that some, now reflects that change that I've added that. So let's see. So yeah, sorry about that not working. Of course, that's when something like that would happen. But anyway, back to my main point about these tool sets is they are set up in a way to where you can design exactly the tool set that you need or your department needs, or if you're someone in the company who's in charge of creating the company standards, you can decide what exactly goes into this tool set and then share it out from that point just by clicking on the settings. You can export it from this location or from our tool chest drop down here and go to manage tool sets and select our company standards there and then export from that point. So a couple different ways. That's kind of another nice thing about Revu is there's a whole lot of different ways to get to kind of the same thing, and they're all correct essentially. It's like whatever, whether I grab the cloud here or I grab the cloud that's in my tool sets, or if I like to come up here and find it here or use the keyboard shortcut, there right there, that's just 4 different ways I can get to that same cloud. But whichever way your mind thinks is best to get to that cloud tool, then that's the best way of getting there. So let's see. Oh, and as far as these tool sets go, let me go back to a web tab here real quick and bring this up. Bluebeam has a ton of tool sets, stamps, profiles. I mentioned the profiles earlier. The profile is cool because it encompasses the entire layout of Revu, like where you have the panels and the toolbars set up, the way that you have everything laid out in Revu. It's all part of your profile. But when you export a profile, all of your tool sets also come with it too. So that's important to keep in mind. So Revu has all of these custom libraries. Let me put this in the chat there also so that everybody has access to that. Yeah, they've got different tool sets available for different types of different different job specifications. Whether you're plumbing, electrical, mechanical, some really cool construction symbology here. And really all you have to do is just click on it, download it. And then just once you have that saved, then just go to manage tool sets again and import, and then navigate to where you have that open, or navigate to where you have that saved. Or also say if it automatically just saves in your downloads, you can just double click on it and it will automatically drop it into your tool sets also. So and then if we want to collapse any of these, we can, if I don't want to have it so cluttered up here. So yeah, there's a lot of different tools and stamps and profiles available, different tool sets that are available here on that site. It's cool that they make these available for everybody. I do know that there are some third-party organizations that make some tool sets for Bluebeam Revu. I have not made use of any of those. Buyer beware, I guess. Some of them probably come from reputable sources, but if it's got you scratching your head, it's probably not a good idea. There's one more tool that is pretty cool. I'm not going to necessarily go into how to make this tool occur here, but I will give you the directions on how to do that. So there's another type of markup tool that works really similar to the counts that we were using earlier, except this one is called a sequence tool, and I've got that one saved right here. And there again, like you can design these to be exactly how you want them to be in appearance and how they function, everything. This one you'll see will count off 1, 2, 3, 4 sequentially, but you can have it do A, B, C, D, whatever. So let's say I'm just wanting to get a count of these meeting rooms. You know, kind of a really cool function to where it just automatically keeps the count running as you keep using the tool. So pretty fun little experiment there. If you haven't messed with these before, let me show you where I have that information, and then I'll share that with you here. Here's a blog that I have hosted on our company's website, and this basically gives you a rundown of how to design that exact tool that I was just using, and I will drop that into the chat as well there. Yeah, just a you know, maybe you make use of it, maybe you don't need to, but it's, you know, it's just another way that you can design these tools to function how you need them to, or how your company needs them to, just so you're really disseminating the information most clearly as possible, and, you know, kind of getting the best use out of your tool sets. That I will say, well, I guess we're getting close to the end of time. I will say, dig through my blog there and all of the Bluebeam posts that I have made. I give a lot of information about Bluebeam updates, what's come out new on, you know, if there's a recent update, I do give information on that. And I do give some how-tos and tips on how to, you know, make use of certain tools or different commands within Revu. But yeah, it looks like we're drawing close to an end here, and let's see, it looks like I've got a question, but I'm not. Is there a reason why I don't have the option to set up a sync tool chest? I'm using 21.7. I think I am on 21.72. Yeah, I'm on 21.7. Oh, I did not even think about that. We can see right there that this is a beta. You can sign up to test the beta updates on Bluebeam's website. I'm sorry, I didn't even think about that when I was going through that. That part is an update that is coming, obviously. But if you're making use and testing out the beta, you'll have access to that before anybody else will. Real quick, before I close out here, I have another webinar coming up on December 17th where I'm going to be discussing all of the fantastic ways that Bluebeam Revu 21 helps enhance our collaboration. And I've got a lot of information for that one. And also, if you enjoyed this and want to see this webinar again, the video will go out by email within the next day or two, and then we're also going to have it hosted on our Seiler Instrument YouTube channel. So I appreciate everyone being here, and I hope you all gained something useful and fun out of it, and have a good rest of your week.